Hello, welcome back to my channel, Healing with Kearra. Today we're looking into messages from the person that you miss. So we have 3 piles, as you can see. With each pile we're using the Hermit Tarot Channeled Messages deck to actually get the messages, and then some oracles like usual. And then each pile will have an extended, and with the extended we'll just take a deeper look with the cards here, and then get additional messages using the Truth Within Oracle, and get some more Oracle cards, just additional advice from Spirit, whatever you could need right now. So as you can see, we have 3 piles here. Pile 1 is the Dreamy Moons Tarot with this pink stone. Pile 2 is the 8th House Tarot with this purple stone. And pile 3 is the Tarot of Little Secrets, this like blue-green stone, mostly green. So yeah, you can pause it if you need a little bit more time to make a choice, but like I always say, just go with the very first thing that catches your eye, and the timestamps will be in the description box as usual, as well as the extended readings and just some of my other more recent pick a cards that I've done as well will be linked in there. So pile 1, we're getting messages from the person that you miss. Ooh, so we have the 7 of crystals and the 10 of crystals with the 8 of stars. So this person could have like snuck away from you. Yeah, with this pile, it's like you could be in a separation or in a space where you're missing them because they deceived you that in some way. They like snuck away, but in a way that was really deceptive, cold, not upfront. They kind of left things open-ended, or like left a lot of their stuff behind or something. It's like they snuck off in the night, or they snuck off in such a way they like half ghosted you, but they left some things kind of open-ended, but they just kind of disappeared out of nowhere and created this like very painful ending, where you were faced to really mourn the situation, but it's like you didn't fully understand why this happened, where it came from, where they went. It's like, yeah, it came out of nowhere. When I picked these up, the 8 of stars was underneath the 10 of crystals, so it's like the ending here was building up, or it was like it was coming for some time, yet you didn't expect it because a lot of their actions or whatever was going on was in the dark. They were like doing things secretly behind your back or in the dark to prepare themselves to be able to just like sneak away in some unexpected way. Um, it has you in this space of almost like blaming yourself or thinking that you did something wrong. It was like self-sabotage. You betrayed yourself, or you betrayed the connection in some way, even though you were the one that got really hurt or like impacted in some way. Because again, it's like you can't see their actions behind the scenes. You can't see like what they've been doing up to this point to like build to this, to like get to this point. So yeah, it's like you're blocked from being able to see a lot, and so you're definitely blaming on yourself, or you're thinking that it was like you did this yourself or caused this for yourself, or it was self-sabotage. You did something to push them away. It's like somehow your fault, even though they went about it in this very hurtful and deceitful way. They like, yeah, snuck away in a way that left you feeling really like shocked. You felt like they were very cold. It's like we have the Chariot here and the Ace of Stars, and so it's like it seemed like it was going really well. There was like a positive opportunity here. Yeah, it seemed like everything was moving forward really smoothly. You couldn't see this part was hidden from you. It's like that part, right? Like where they were actually concocting this like weird plan or trying to build like resources in order to be able to like sporadically take off. But it could have happened like more unexpectedly than they planned, so they had to leave like some things behind or something. um, but you're almost like letting that weigh on you, or remaining kind of stuck as a result of that, because again, you're like blaming yourself because you're blocked from being able to see the full picture of like what was really going on with this person up right up until before this happened. um yeah, so we have the Seven of Wands and the Nine of Wands. That something could have happened here where you had to like stand up for yourself or defend yourself, and they used that as an excuse to like turn things around, um in order to be able to move forward in the way that they wanted to. And so then it almost put you in this paranoid energy of like, um was I wrong to like stand up for myself or defend myself in that way? Like, should I have seen? But they could have like weaponized a lot of other people against you, and you knew that like what was going on wasn't fair. Like they didn't have the full pictures. Like you could sense that something was like off, and so you had to kind of like stand your ground. But then because the way this person ended up, they used that to like create a lot of chaos and draw a lot of attention on you, so then they could sneak away in the way that they wanted to, or justify sneaking away in the way that they wanted to. And if for at first it actually did kind of hold you back and put you in this energy of like, okay, wait, did I do something wrong? Like with the Nine of Wands, there's almost a sense of paranoia that you're too guarded, you have your walls up too high, like you're not open to hearing and seeing other people's point of view. Like you're thinking like, am I the one that needs to grow? Am I the one that's emotionally immature? So we have the Page of Wands. So you're like, am I the one that's like passionately protecting myself or defending myself to a fault? Or was it like a justified conviction? Do I have like a right to carry this torch? Am I leading the way? Am I, breaking ground for change, like one of the first people to stand up for themselves in this way, and that's why it appears like this? Or am I like the one that's immature? Am I the one that needs to grow? Am I the one that needs to work on myself and focus on myself? So there's like you almost pause for a second to kind of consider like really where you're coming from and where you're trying to go. And then we have the Ten of Stars. So I'm going to get clarity actually from a deck I made for myself. So it's like we have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse and Four of Wands in the reverse, or Four of Swords in the reverse, which is like, to me, in my deck, like Four of Swords in the reverse represents like taking a time out to mourn the loss of something. It's like you're not quite to the point of like being able to rest and recover. It's like you have to actually, yeah, like mourn how how something has left you, or with this situation here, it's like you have to actually take the time to like really recognize and accept what has happened and be able to mourn the situation and release it. The Two of Pentacles in the reverse, that's my like being able to make a really clear decision and not going back and forth anymore. So it's like being really firm and set on this, that you were not in the wrong, or that you were justified to kind of stand your ground or stand up for yourself in some way. So it's like continuing to stay really firm and continue to stand on your choices and your decision, your conviction, while taking the time out to like mourn and recover from this relationship and genuinely like process the emotions and feelings of like letting this go. So we also have the Eight of Wands in reverse. So that's like my hold back. It's like, don't throw yourself into something or put yourself out there in some way right now. Like, take the time to process this and release all of the emotions that come with this, so then you can actually recover and then move forward in a really confident way, to where you're not kind of wishy-washy or back and forth or making choices and decisions out of like your pain or your confusion here. Because it's like you had to kind of pause for a second and be like, wait, so someone could have, this other person could have been just like really messing with you mentally in order to be able to get away with like their own devious like actions and intentions towards you. They kind of had ulterior motives with the way that they wanted to be able, it's like they want to be able to remove themselves from things without having anything come back on them or getting any sort of flack from anyone else. So they have to kind of like mentally mess with you to make you feel like you did something wrong, and then if you take that accountability, then they feel as though they energetically get off scot-free. It's like it almost worked for a second, to where it put you in this place of like, wait, okay, am I the problem? Am I in the wrong? Am I too guarded? Like, and so it's like, because of this, it's important to genuinely take the time to heal your brain and just like your emotions and your responses and everything involved and connected to this. And so firstly, taking the time to just like mourn the relationship or recognize like what has truly happened here, because there's a lot behind the scenes that you didn't see. And so being able to, before you move forward into something else, like taking a time out to be able to see what you need to see in order to properly heal and be able to release this karmic cycle. And then you can make really clear choices, really healthy choices in the future that you can stand on. So it's like, um, not at this time, but once you've had time to mourn this, heal from this, recover, and move forward more confidently or more healthy, then with the 10 of stars, it's like in the future you have the capability to manifest um, something really healthy, something really stable, secure. Like, you've been working very hard towards having that like stable life partner, family, someone that will like provide for you and take care of you, or someone that you can provide for and take care of, however that resonates for you. So it's like you do have the opportunity to have this in the future, as long as you take the time to like properly heal and recognize what's happened here. Um, yeah, it's definitely like, don't blame yourself, don't be too hard on yourself, don't take any of this like baggage into the next relationship and then be like overly paranoid or concerned that you're always doing something wrong, or that you're going to like push people away, that your actions are going to cause people to abandon you. It's like you have to heal from how everything got kind of like misconstrued, but it's like not your fault. Um, so protect yourself, needing to keep yourself safe in the reverse. So moving forward, again with this here, it's like once you have time to properly mourn this and heal from this, you won't have the same sort of like defensive energy going into every single relationship. You won't always feel like you need to overly protect yourself and defend yourself. Not everyone's going to have the same intentions as this person, so it's like you did learn a lesson. You do have to adjust how you interact with this person, or how you're vulnerable to this person or these people involved, but you don't have to have that same energy with everyone. You don't have to have your guard up with everyone. It's like a learning process, and so with each situation you have to learn like what to take with you and what to let go of, and it's this constant like cyclical like rebalancing act. um Ooh, so first we have kicked to the curb, and then second we have knowing they effed up. So if this person tried to come back, you could have kicked them to the curb, or if they do try to come back, it's like you're going to kick them to the curb, and they know they could already know they effed up, but then it's like once you're no longer interested in dealing with them anymore, it kind of puts them in this energy of like it's solidifying the fact of knowing that there's really nothing they can do about the situation. It's like instead of before, you could have just been really protective and defensive, and now you're in this energy of like not even wanting to deal with them, or like not even trusting them anymore. You truly consider it like a loss, and you really are going through that process of like mourning it as something a part of your past. Knowing that it's not going to come back around again, and this other person can like sense your energy or sense that you're done with them. It's like they tried to leave like something behind so that they could like circle back, or so that they could create this like toxic pattern out of this, and you could have picked up on this. And that's like they left it open-ended in some way. It was very confusing. And so then it's like when they tried to come back around, you either kicked them to the curb or you're going to kick them to the curb. And it's like they're very aware of like there's no coming back from this. It's not going to work out the way that they had thought. They're not going to be able to kind of like come in and out, use you like a doormat, like leave certain things behind so that you feel like responsible for them in certain ways, or maybe emotionally responsible for them or something. It's like you had very strong boundaries and you implemented them right away. And so right away they were like, okay, this isn't going to work out. And so then they fell back on their second tactic, which was like then switch everything around on you to make you feel as though you were the one that messed up, in order to relieve themselves from this emotionally, just to be able to walk away scot-free, or kind of get off scot-free and not have to like feel bad about their actions. But it's like not working out for them. um, So obviously you do miss them, but it's like you're very guarded. Like you're not putting your walls down, or you're not doing anything to show them that, or to be vulnerable in any way. Like they're just seeing you as this very like fierce, um, so this like unknown energy that they've never really seen from you before. And so whatever's going on with you internally, they're not aware of it anymore. They can't see it, they can't read you, they can't sense you. So that's where they're like, okay, um, I really have been like kicked to the curb in like whatever sense. Um, What would they say to you? You are wrong. So it would literally tell you that you're wrong and twist things around on you. Okay. So if you were to call them out and be like, oh, well, then why did you leave things open ended? Why, if you call them out on their certain games, it'd be like, oh, well, obviously you're not done with me. So then why are you doing these weird things? Then it's like they deny, like anything they try to, yeah, even though you see through them, they still try to tell you that you're wrong. And then they try and just like flip stuff around on you to make you feel some type of way. I just wish things were different. Think before you act. They would tell you, think before you act. So very like manipulative again, or just very like switching things around on you type of energy. I'm sorry in the reverse. So they would not apologize, or if they do, is not genuine. It's very obvious that is surface level. It's not coming from anywhere genuine, or it's like you've heard it. It's like if they do apologize, they use the same generic line that they've used like time and time again. It's like everything they're saying, you're like, I've heard this before exactly. And so this, it doesn't, you know what I mean? I already know, like, whenever you say these exact things, you'll still, it's like obvious that they're still in the same, they're repeating the same habits and patterns that they have before. It's like they haven't truly changed. Um, or yeah, it's just not going to work anymore. You're not going to want to hear it, or they may not even apologize, or like it's just there. It's obvious they don't really feel bad. They just want you to like take accountability for it. But so yeah, it's like comes across like it's obvious that they don't feel bad, but deep down they actually do know how much they messed up here. So that's really interesting. So this person's really good at like acting. Listen to your heart. More manipulations, like getting really soft and trying to kind of like then emotionally compel you, even though it's obvious that instead of coming outward right out and just apologizing, then they'll like flip it around and be like, oh, well, like, yeah, I try to emotionally compel you to be like, oh, how do you feel? Where are you at? Uh, Interesting tactics. Cave of comfort, retreat. A time is needed for self care and solitude. This is a time to redirect your life that centers within your heart. The healing starts when you align your mind, body, and soul. Bridge the gap, communication. Walking across a bridge is easier than treading through water. Viewing both sides of a situation can create compassion and clarity. You're being asked to reach common ground and see both points of view. Patience needed, timing. Be mindful not to rush or push your agenda at this time. Trust in divine timing and less than instant gratification. Having patience allows everything to unfold as it should. The seeds have been planted. Now let them grow. So that makes perfect sense. More bottom of the deck energy, just saying kind of like wait. Also, kind of like let yourself grow and heal. Soul family, strength. Finding your soul family is a blessing that reaps many benefits. You are being asked to reach out and explore to find your soul connections. They will feel familiar, safe, and trusted when you meet them. Send out your intention to connect with your soul family and see who comes your way. So, yeah, you're healing for something deeper and more meaningful here. And not to just like repeat the same cycles and patterns of how you felt and how you've been treated. So it's worth it to like hold out here for something that's like more genuine. Of library and rain. So the library is read. With the rain, the find shelter. So find shelter and read. It's like there could be more research or information that you can find in regards to the situation. This card is reminding me of the cave of comfort, retreat energy that we had. Get one more oracle card to close out the reading. Discernment. And you got two. We have unlimited possibilities and burden. So I'm going to read all of those for you. As spiritually, physical, and energetic beings, we oftentimes blur the lines between our energy, the energy of a situation, and the energy of another person. When we take on other people's energy and label it as our own, we start to judge. This lowers our energetic vibrations. We then get caught up in a seemingly never ending cycle of feeling bad, labeling, justifying, and appropriating what is not ours to claim. The lesson here, as the previous card, is to be present, not label or judge, and let the energy feeling wash through you. Once you do this, notice where in your body you feel the effects of the emotion. Does your heart open up? Does your belly hurt? Does your throat get tight? Your head can lie to you, but your body never does. It's easy to become overwhelmed. Make a habit of making your first response to overwhelming energy, wow, that's interesting, instead of what's wrong with me. This allows you to objectively discover how and why your body is reacting to the given situation or person. This card is asking you to stop looking outside of yourself for answers to an issue. Instead, sit with it and listen to what your body is telling you. So you could have been kind of taking on someone else's energy because they were specifically projecting it onto you or kind of manipulating you to feel that way. So definitely don't be hard on yourself. Many times we take on stress of those we love and care for. We see it as the ultimate sacrifice. We take on others' burdens to save them the trouble or the heartache. Ironically, the way energy in the universe works makes this a very counterproductive way of operating. When we take on the burdens of others, we deny them the ability to learn and grow from their own lessons. We also interfere with divine planning and timing. Never one to be thwarted, any lessons circumvented will absolutely reappear, sometimes with much more force than what was originally intended. Ask yourself if you or another is taking on troubles or lessons not belonging to them, out of a need to be needed. This stems from the fear that you or they are fundamentally not enough. This is not true. You are created perfect. Your fears and doubts keep you separated from this truth. This is the separation one can feel from the Creator. Once you accept and believe you are perfect and worthy, the tendency to make yourself invaluable to others through your help and assistance will go away. Your relationships can then be best based on truth and not manipulation. Yeah, that's really good advice. So yeah, this is like you could have fell victim to this situation due to this underlying fear or belief that you're not enough. And so then this other person kind of saw that energetically and capitalized on that energy and knew that then if they were to like wound you or hurt you in that way, even if it was unconsciously, they weren't like consciously planning this out. It's like they knew that wounding you in such a way would then create this like fear in you to where then you would continue to chase after them or just yeah, it's like they misread like where you were at in your healing journey. It's like even though you may have dealt with some of those issues of that we all deal with, right? Of just kind of feeling like you're not enough or just wanting to be like that thing of like wanting to be invaluable to someone or feeling like in order to gain love or security you have to have this irreplaceable thing about you or you have to bring something essential or meet their needs in some way that they can't or something, which is kind of not possible. And so it's like this endless cycle of never feeling like you're enough, never feeling like you can meet other people's needs in the way that to be enough for them. It's like this it creates this, you know, kind of destructive cycle that then feeds into itself. And then you're constantly validating those inner feelings of um, lack, right? And so being able to recognize what is yours and what's not and empower yourself moving forward to not take on other people's stuff can be really beneficial in not triggering some of those insecurity wounds, or that perception of yourself that you're not able to, you're not enough to meet other people's needs, because it's like you never will be. So other people have to be able to meet their own needs on their own and be whole on their own. And you don't want to be with someone who's then capitalizing on those wounds or insecurities within you, because that's not kind. Um, yeah, it's like you're not a burden to others. You deserve love just because you're you and not because you are able to help others like meet their needs in some essential way. It's like you're valuable just because you exist. And that might be kind of uncomfortable, but it's true. So as we heal, we can begin to recognize that more authentically. When fall turns to winter, the leaves fall from the trees, birds fly south, plants go dormant, some even die having lived the life they were meant to. Do we ever panic and wallow in fear that this is it? There will never be another robin singing, there will never be another ripe tomato? No, we don't. Why is that? We know that after winter, spring will return, followed by the bounty of summer. It is so in your life. At any given time, there are unlimited possibilities for you and yours, many different paths to take, many different options available. Don't get bogged down into thinking in a linear fashion. Open your eyes and your heart and feel the power your free will and choice brings to you. Make your life what it is meant to be. So I think that is a really great way to end it. So that's all I have for pile one. If you are interested in the extended reading, that will be linked in the description box down below. And if you would like a more personal reading, then that's also linked in the description box down below. If you watch this far into the reading, I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day. Pile 2, we're using the 8th House Tarot and looking into messages from the person you miss. We have the Fool on the bottom of the deck, Uranus. I believe Uranus is still in retrograde. That Uranus retrograde could have some sort of timing. Underneath that, we have the Queen of Fire. So this person could have heavy fire or water in their chart. Also air, or you could have air or water. Picking up, it's like this person has heavy fire and you could have air, so you're kind of hesitant to reach out to them, or it's like they intimidate you, or you don't know if what you have to offer is like equipped enough to capture their attention or to get them as passionate and excited about you as you are towards them. You're very drawn towards this person. You naturally just want to like open up to them because you see them as someone kind of like as a higher level, fiercely protective, intuitive person. It's like you kind of put this person on a pedestal, but in comparison to them, you feel as though you're just like free floating, or you're not sure if you have what it takes to draw them in, capture their attention. You feel like you're just starting out and they're like on a whole nother level. You also may have to like walk away from something, or you've made a lot of sacrifices for this, or like walked away from a lot of other things for this, whereas this other person is kind of like turned away from you, or like not open to you or receptive to you, or they don't see you, they're turned away from you it first in some way for some reason, and so you're scared to like put yourself out there or reach out. You're intimidated by them in some way, but there's this strong desire to just like take a leap of faith, go all in, jump in, put yourself out there. But again, it's like you're scared to actually do it because you see this person is very, very fierce. You're very drawn towards them. You want to be really open with them. You see them as really attractive. You want to give them a lot of your like light and energy. You feel like they would be a really loving person or a fiercely loyal person once you're like on their good side. They'd be like fiercely protective of you. You see all these like really positive qualities to where it's like worth it for you to like walk away from something else or to make a lot of sacrifices in order to have this. But at the same time, they're like turned away from you and you're not sure if they're going to be open to like see you, or if you were to reach out and try and get their attention or make yourself vulnerable to them, it's like they have the potential to really hurt you in your mind because you see them as like so elevated in comparison to you. You feel like there's like a power imbalance or something to where like they have the power to really hurt you, or you don't know. It's like what you have to offer is like just like conversation and connection and like all of this stuff that you're perceiving to be like really light, insignificant, almost meaningless, and you feel like they're this like ferocious, incredible, like captivating person that you're just like not even sure how to get their attention or how to even like keep it. So this is our bottom of the deck energy. And we also have these cards on the bottom of the deck. This Four of Cups and the Strength card is where I'm getting this like they're turned away from you. There's a strong desire to reach out, open up, connect, but you're scared to actually be vulnerable because they're um, just turned away from you in some way, or you're not sure how to get their attention in like a safe way, or how to put yourself out there in a way to where you can then also protect yourself in case they're like not interested, because you perceive them to be like on such another level in comparison to you. You're kind of like, why would they be interested in what I have to offer? Yeah, you almost feel as though you're kind of like insignificant, or what you have to offer is like insignificant. And this is energy of like, why would they um be interested in me, or why would they look at me? Like you're very timid, or you're very like intimidated by them. And then we have Neptune with the Hanged One and the Chariot, Cancer. So with this Chariot card being like this huge crab, it's like you want to move forward, you want to get things going, you want to progress forward, but you're doing it in such a way that you're going to protect yourself on the outside and keep like what's sensitive to you buried underneath, and like not fully reveal yourself. Like you want to come across like more nonchalant, go with the flow, like it's all good, like you don't really care, like you don't want to overly present like yourself in such a way, or you don't want to like reveal like everything about yourself, like where you've came from, how hard you've had to overcome certain things in your life. It's like you don't want to be vulnerable and reveal all of that like underlying stuff. You want to like move forward and present yourself to them in such a way that like shields and protects certain parts of yourself and your journey from them. Yeah, so you're just very intimidated by them, and you feel like they wouldn't be interested, or they wouldn't know what to do with those certain parts of you. So because you're not being fully vulnerable and authentic, or you don't want them to see you in certain ways, you're already kind of prejudging that they would see you in a certain way. So it's like you're judging that they're going to judge you, but then you're right, like because you're so scared they're going to judge you, you're the one that's actually judging them. So then that's kind of could be what's blocking you or stopping you from being able to authentically connect with them. Or like that's why you're not getting their attention, is because you're not showing up fully authentic, transparent. You're too scared to be vulnerable, and so they're not even looking in your direction or seeing you as like a valid option. So of investigating. Um, this is like someone who's like spying on you, or like trying to get information on you but not wanting you to know it, and like hiding in the dark. So this could be you, but it's like this is not really working for you to get their attention. Like this is not choosing or proving to be like a successful way to um, get them to notice you or come towards you. Or it's like instead of like trying to be sneaky, it's like you're being a little bit more obvious and then you're confused why it's not getting their attention or they're not noticing why you're like looking into them or paying more attention to them, and it's like you're still not doing it in such a way that it's like you're not as obvious as you think you are or something. You're not being as transparent as you think you are because you're still being really shielded and guarded in some ways, or not wanting to show up fully authentic and vulnerable because you're trying to hide or keep certain parts of yourself like buried or protected, disclosed in some way. So yeah, like not being vulnerable, not being like fully authentic in some way. If you already know the T in the reverse, so yeah, it's like this isn't working for you in order to get the information that you need. So you feel super like left out in the dark in regards to this. Your usual methods or like the method that you've been using up until this point is not working. It's like you're going to have to be more vulnerable in the situation to get what you want to know, or you're going to have to like clearly communicate with this person, or just like um kind of put yourself out there and go all out and like directly ask them questions. If you want to know things, you're not going to be able to like go behind the scenes and be sneaky and like get the tea and then be able to do things to kind of get their attention. Like that may have worked for you in the past, but because this person's like on another level, you have to show up more vulnerable, authentic. You can't be so scared to like hide or reveal certain parts of yourself. You can't want to like protect certain parts of yourself or bury certain aspects of who you are like to a fault, because that could have been like the root cause of like why you felt like you needed to like be more sneaky to get information and then like always know the tea, so then you always know how to like plan your next move or like be almost calculated in some way. But it's like, again, that's not going to work on this person. You're going to have to come all out and be transparent and authentic and just face them or communicate with them directly, outwardly, in order to get the information that you want or that you want to know about them or that you need in regards to the situation. We have fake friends in the reverse. So the reason why this person is so closed off or is not recognizing your tactics or not going for it up until this point is because they've had bad experiences with fake friends in the past or like shady people. You may not have intentions to be shady or to be fake. That's not why you're doing this. And you would never, because that's not your intentions, you would never recognize or understand that that's how you're coming across or see that point of view or understand that, because from your point of view, you've been through a lot here and you've had to overcome or come really far, and so you just don't want to reveal those certain parts of yourself. You don't want to reveal the most special, vulnerable, intimate pieces of yourself right away. Like there's a lot of pieces and parts of you in your life and your story that you keep hidden and protected, and you don't like reveal to the world. Like you keep safe, kind of buried underneath, and you have this like protective outer shell because of other things that you've been through. You carry yourself in such a way that protects you emotionally, and so you are so deep in like your intentions and reasons why you're doing what you're doing that you're not able to recognize how it's coming across to others, or that it would come across kind of shady. So to this other person, they've had like fake friends in the past or fake shady people in their past that kind of operated in similar ways that you do. um, and that was like, so that's like a red flag to them, so they're going to like be uninterested, or they're not going to let that get their attention because they could have been like hurt or scorned by that type of energy in the past. They don't know you, they're not able to read your mind, like they're not able to see through you and understand like why you're doing these things or coming across in this certain type of way, to see that you're like protecting yourself in a deeper way. And so it's like you're going to have to come forward and like reveal yourself or like outwardly communicate with this person in such a way to where then they know the true you, your true intentions, they can see you for who you are. And then, yeah, it's like anything you want to know about this person, you're going to have to just like ask them. Like, you're not going to be able to play games, because if you come to them like already kind of knowing stuff about them, then they're going to see that as a red flag, rather than it like going the way that it does with like other people who um, are on a different level. Like, this person's just on a more elevated level, or like they have really strong boundaries, strong healthy boundaries. It's like a lot of people are drawn towards them, and a lot of people just like are mesmerized by them, or like capture their attention, or want to capture their attention, and want this person to be like drawn towards them. They've dealt with like a lot of BS, but this person's like very divinely protected. And so they just kind of operate on a whole different level or energy than anyone else that you've met or that you're used to, anyone else you've connected with before. And so it's like you're going to have to totally level up and take things to the next level within yourself. You're going to have to be able to be vulnerable, put yourself out there. Um, yeah, just kind of like take it to the next level in such a way that you just like freely jump into it. Just go all in, put yourself out there vulnerably, authentically, and then see how they respond without prejudging already what their response is going to be based off the way that you're perceiving them, because you're so attracted to them, so drawn to them. You're putting them on this pedestal that they may not even be able to live up to once you get to know them. So it's like, don't doubt so much like what you have to offer, or like count yourself out before you even try. But it's like the way you're going about it right now is kind of just like counting yourself out before you can even get there. Holy crap. So that just like folded and divided. That could be kind of what's going on when you try and communicate with them. It's like you just fold, the energy just divides. One side just kind of like caves in or something. Oh my gosh. Okay. So right away, the very first thing that popped out, will you choose me? So again, they've been through like a negative experience in their past with someone who had kind of similar energy to you, and that person like switched up on them or really hurt them in some way, played some sort of crazy games. Like they've dealt with someone that was like fake, disingenuous, and so they're like, they see this stuff and they're like, is this a red flag? Like, will you really choose me? Do you really care about me? So that's the first thing they would initially say, like off the jump, that flipped out. um on the bottom of the deck, we have gossip only hurts more, so that makes a lot of sense. I'm too afraid to talk to you. So yeah, they're very turned away from you because they're just triggered by you. They see your energy as like a red flag. um, Ace of Wands. They are very attracted to you, though. They would say that they find you very beautiful, or like they are very drawn towards you. They could get like, this is going to be inappropriate, but I heard it. They could get very aroused by you or like turned on by you, which would be a huge surprise. Like they would maybe tell you, like, yeah, like you turn them on in some way, or that like they are like particularly aroused by something about you, or like, and you, it's like you would be really shocked to, they seem so like turned away or turned off, or like they don't even recognize you or notice you. And so to you, you would be like totally shocked, like you wouldn't expect this, or like you're not even sure if they like see you or know who you are, like the level to which they even see you, that you'd be shocked that they would like think about you in this way. um yeah, you would be surprised to know like how much they think about you and how highly they actually do think about you. It's just something about your energy, again, is just like a red flag to them. But we have, please give me time. I've never felt this way before. And this one fell out and like fell on the floor, literally. Um, Hopefully I said before and not floor. Anyways, So it's like they do want to, it's like they want to jump out at the last second and say this, but they could just be really hesitant because, again, it's like, I'm too afraid to talk to you. Will you choose me? And so this is what kind of stops them from coming forward and revealing this, or like keeping this part to themselves, hiding this part. It's like there's so much else going on that they just don't know like what the best thing is or what would be the right thing for them. They don't want to like make a choice that could hurt them after some sort of experience that they've had in the past. It's like they want to learn and grow and be more mature this time around. The rose garden, gratitude. Take time out to smell the roses and enjoy the goodness of nature. Honor each day by staying present and remembering gratitude turns everything into enough. And mountaintop, balance. Carrying the burdens has made you wary as you traveled up the mountain of responsibility. You have the choice to view your life from a higher perspective. When you let go of control, delegate responsibility, and focus on things that hold value, life feels more balanced. New beginnings, intention. New doors are opening and new opportunities are here. You are shifting into a higher frequency by honoring yourself and your accomplishments. It's time for a fresh start and a clean slate. You're being asked to only bring your new self into this next chapter. Fresh start and a clean slate. Only bring your new self into your next chapter. Partnerships, support. You're being guided to reach out to form partnerships and alliances to expand your vision and perspective. Taking this time to see who comes into your life that is offering to assist with your endeavors. Asking for help often leads to accomplishing your goals more quickly. Decisions and fear, control. Some decisions and choices that you have made are based in fear and not heart centered knowledge. Fear is your ego wanting control. Take a step back and make a responsive choice rather than a reactive one. Then you're able to see the truth of the best choice with a calm and centered manner. So it's like some of the choices in regards to how you approach this person or how you try to get their attention or how you try to communicate with them is based in fear, a fear in wanting to kind of control the situation or the outcome. Because again, it's like this underlying fear that they're going to judge you if they see certain parts of you or certain parts of your life, or you kind of move in such a way that protects like the most vulnerable aspects of who you are, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just if you want to connect with this person in particular on the level that you would like to, or on an emotional level, then you almost have to rise to meet them and match them. So you're going to need to access those like deeper, more hidden parts of yourself that you ordinarily protect, and be willing to offer up that sense of vulnerability to this person in a way that you don't feel safe to others. It's like if you want something different, then you have to do different or be different. So it's like, yeah, new levels. New levels are given new devils, but you have what it takes to deal with it and get through it. You have the capabilities to work through this and heal through this. Um, So we have fire and horizon. So we have look to the distance and let it go. So there may be some things from the past that you have to kind of let go and no longer carry with you, certain experiences that you want to kind of release in like a ceremonial type of way, so that you're no longer carrying that baggage around with you, or that those emotions with you. And so then you can manifest new opportunities, new experiences, new stories, new experiences. I just repeated myself, but I heard it in my head again. So emphasize on that part. So we have creativity on the bottom and new day. So I'm going to read both of those for you to close out the reading here. This is a profoundly creative time period for you, whether it is the traditional arts, music, or writing, or it could be a new curiosity about exploring a way to funnel your creative urges. To be creative, you need to access your right brain, your emotional senses feeling center. Do this by trying things you've never done before. Get physical, dance, doodle. When we acknowledge and act upon our impulses to create, we are aligning our will with the Creator. In this, we can experience the flow of being in your highest path. Start creating and notice how time has no meaning anymore. Hours fly by before you realize it. It is not a struggle, it is pure inspiration. This card can also signify a birth of a child or a whole new way of being. A new day enables us to see in a brand new light. We can see more clearly once the shadows of fear and doubt are brushed away by the light of creation. Once the initial shock of discovering the duality in a situation is worn off, you can find comfort that there truly is no bad or good. It just is. When this is realized, the possibilities for outcomes of a situation become endless. This card also advises to wait. Everything regarding the situation has yet to unfold. So, there could be more to unfold before it's time for you to fully step through and reveal yourself and be vulnerable. It's like whatever hasn't worked out today, wait until a promise of a new day to kind of begin again or reveal yourself again. Or it's like waiting until the time is right. You'll be able to feel that when there's like a new, fresh energy around you in regards to this. We're going to get one more card just for you guys, just to... Yeah. So we have talisman and veiled. So with the veiled, it's like, again, more confirmation that you cannot see everything right now. So let's read what they have to say for these cards. The talisman represents new doors opening for you now. New pathways are present at this time. It also invites you to find or create and charge an appropriate amulet, symbol, or mantra to help support your current endeavors or healing. Empower this talisman with your intention to evoke its magic in your everyday life. Meditate with this card to act as a powerful road opener to a new adventure or opportunities, or to discover hidden talismans of power, love, and peace. The skeleton key is often used in magic symbolically to move from one place in life to another. It also is one with many symbols of the goddess Hecate. When worn as a talisman or charged with intention, the key can free us from our self-imposed cages and move us into the next part of the journey by opening new doors to opportunity. So yeah, the part where it's like self-imposed cages, it's like you may have done certain things in order to protect yourself at one time, but now at this time in your life when it's no longer serving you, it is kind of acting as like a self-imposed cage, blocking you from being able to authentically connect with the people that you would most like to connect with on that level. All is not being revealed at this time. Is someone around you hiding or holding back information or an aspect of themselves? Please use caution in proceeding. Or perhaps the mask is inviting you to become more protective with what you share. Draw another card for clarity in your next right action. You can meditate on the mask to achieve altered states of awareness and encourage hidden abilities to rise to the surface of your consciousness. Masks are very so obviously we did pick up on it's like you are the one kind of hiding or holding back parts of yourself, but also it's like you can't see how much this other person is actually attracted to you or drawn towards you because they're not revealing all of that. um yeah, they're very like attracted to you, drawn towards you. It's just they're not giving you their energy and attention because of something from their own past. It's like you kind of like give red flags for them, like we were picking up. So that could be it too, which where there's like more to see or more to know in regards to the situation. They're more interested in you than you would realize. So it's like, don't get too disappointed. Um, but then we also have jealousy and death. So with this card, it's like there actually could be someone could have like masked intentions around you. There could be someone around you who kind of like triggers you to get into this state or makes you feel insecure. They have like masked intentions, even though they seem like they're helping you, but they're kind of keeping you in the state that you were in before. Like friends who kind of like validate like the toxic like um sneaking around or like not being fully transparent type of behavior. It's like they're doing this because they have intentions, like because they actually are like jealous of you, or there could be more like going on around you and that's why you and this person haven't been able to connect, because there's like not trustworthy people around you. So you needed to like get clear within yourself in order to clear out the energy around you before you and this person could come together and connect in the way that you would like. um so I'm going to read both of these cards for you because they have pretty good. I always just love to read what the book says. Um, Envy, jealousy, and bad vibes. This card comes as a warning that all is not as it seems, or maybe it is. There may be some jealousy being presented or projected onto you at this time. Fear not. This warning is here to provide you with enough distance to take the necessary action to protect your heart, mind, and energy. Or perhaps the good old compare and despair monster has got you wishing or longing for what another has or is doing. Sometimes the jealousy is within you. This is a powerful time to check in and see where you may be feeling inadequate or as if you are missing something. Meditate to shield yourself from negative thoughts, envy, and jealousy. So, yeah, it's like if you do get kind of caught in that energy of feeling like you're missing something or you're inadequate, other people could be projecting jealousy onto you, and that's like lowering your vibration. You're kind of falling victim to that without even realizing. And then that's causing you to like your energy to show up a different type of way to this other person. You're giving off so many red flags to them because someone else is projecting their energy onto you because they're very jealous of you. They don't want you to be able to connect, or they just feel jealous or intimidated by you connecting with other people to the level that you're capable of, or like the connections that your level of that you're capable of manifesting in your life. They feel jealous of that. The noticeable end of a cycle or situation, grieving or mourning a loss in order to heal. It's time to watch the old way leave itself in the past. Allow feelings of grief or sadness to move through you with ease. Meditate on this when you want to honor an ending, a loss, or letting go in your life with grace. Without death, there is no life, and vice versa. So yeah, now that you are aware of this, it's definitely going to bring about the ending of this, and kind of, yeah, if there is someone else like projecting any weird energy on you, it's definitely going to take away their power just by recognizing this, becoming more conscious. Also, just becoming more conscious of your own energy and your own actions will naturally just shift things so you're no longer in alignment to validate that person that could be projecting like weird energy onto you. So yeah, that is all I have for pile 2. If you're interested in the extended reading, that will be linked in the description box down below, and we'll be using the Truth Within, or the Hidden Truth Oracle, to get additional messages and just additional messages from Spirit, advice from Spirit, more cards here from the 8th house deck, and yeah, if you'd like a more personal reading, you can also use the link that's in my description to get one of those. And yeah, if you've watched this far into the reading, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great day. Pile 3, we're taking a look into messages from the person that you miss. To the 3 of Cups and the 4 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Okay, with this pile, it could be someone who's involved in a third party, and you're hoping that they'll like leave the third party and choose you. Or if it's not that, it's like more of a situationship where it's more of an open thing, and they're like talking to a lot of people and you're talking to a lot of people, but it's like you could be talking to a lot of people because they're talking to a lot of people, so you also want to seem like you don't care as much. And you're like actually secretly hoping and waiting that they'll come around and choose you, or that they'll like heal and like wake up and choose you, or like recognize how much they care about you at some point. I don't want to say this, but I just heard it. It's like you could have like a child with this person, so you could be thinking like at some point you're thinking they're going to wake up and realize like how much you and their family like means to them, and kind of like choose you and like quit this other lifestyle or give up this other lifestyle. Or say you do have a kid, even if it's not with this person, is like you're hoping that they'll like choose you and like the family that you guys have together, and give up like this other person or other people, or even just the, maybe it's not like another person in particular, but they just kind of go out a lot and like party a lot with other people, hang out with their friends a lot. They are more of like the immature type of lifestyle. It's like you're very hopeful that they'll like settle down and choose you, or kind of like see your worth and choose you at a certain point. Or yeah, like if they're involved with others, it's like you're really hopeful that they'll choose you over them at some point that they'll like kind of wake up and recognize like how much they mean to you, like how much you do for them, the position that you hold in their life. Or you have this impression that like even though they go out and party with others, it's like the connection that they have to you is like more meaningful, or like they hold like you in a special place in their heart, and they're just like waiting to get to a place where they're more mature and ready to settle down, and then they're going to like be with you, and so you're not as insecure about like them partying with other people or being friends with other people, because it's like not as meaningful, or it's not to the same level, or like like yeah, you guys have a family together or something, so it's like different, or you feel this comfortability that yeah, what like the connection they have with you is different, or you have like a different or special place in their hearts, or they're going to choose you when they're ready to like wake up and move forward or come out of this. You feel like they just act like this because they're healing from something, and at a certain point they're going to like grow up and mature. So maybe they had like a hard life, a hard childhood, they went through something kind of traumatic, so you use whatever pain they went through in their life to justify like their actions, them being kind of immature, partying a lot, going out a lot, giving their energy and attention to a lot of other people around them. And you're very hopeful that at a certain point they'll wake up and realize like how meaningful you are to them, the place that you hold in their life, or how much you've like held it down for their family, and then they'll like choose you. Because we have the devil. So you're very like committed to this and this person, regardless of the fact that they're like open to others, or like currently they could be, because this is like someone that you miss, so there could be separation right now, and they're off connecting with others, partying with others, like giving their time and energy to others, and you're at home like holding it down with the family and healing, and just kind of like holding that space for them, waiting for them to come back. You're really hopeful that once they wake up and realize like that lifestyle's not worth it, that you're more meaningful, what you have to offer, like what your family has to offer is more meaningful to them, that they'll come back around and like work to try to fix this or heal this. um but yeah, with the devil, I'm really not liking the devil here. It's like you're either not able to see like how bad it really is with them, or like how deep they are in this other lifestyle, how far they've gone in this direction, exactly like how bad like some of the stuff they've gotten into, or how deep they've gotten into certain things that you wouldn't approve of. It's like you're not able to see that because you're under like almost like their spell. Or you're just so caught up in this energy of like being very loyal, or like they have some level of like control over you, to where you're not going to like challenge them or move forward. You're just going to like stay really isolated, taking care of yourself, or like holding it down with your family. You're just like focusing on, even if you feel left out or left behind, you're just trying to focus on like your spiritual values, like grow as a person, put your family first. So it's like, yeah, you're just focusing on yourself, taking care of yourself. You really could have a child, or just something that you like take care of. You have children, like family that you take care of, and so it's like you're just focused on nurturing that, growing that, giving them the best energy and the best life possible. Focus on your spiritual values, but it's like then you're almost doing that to a fault, because then you're trying to hold that same space for this person to like return and integrate back into that, and you're feeling like, well, surely eventually they'll wake up and realize like my warmth, how much I nurture, like what I bring to the table. But this person's not in like a healthy mindset with the devil here. So it's like, I'm not seeing that they're just going to wake up and realize how good they had it with you, or how much like you bring to the table, or you offer, or how the spot, like they may have like a special place in their heart for you, but because they're in this like devil energy right now, they're not in a healthy space to choose what's going to be good for them or to help them grow. They just want to like have fun, party, like go out and connect with others, share with others. So they have different like priorities and different focuses. And so they're not going to see like your qualities and what you offer, what you bring to the table with the same sense of value as you would think that they would, or that they did at one time when they were in a healthier space. You guys could have been like a very spiritually aligned couple at one point, and now this person's kind of fell off because they want to be more just like carefree, go out and have fun and connect with others in a way that like you don't feel as comfortable. You take life a little bit more serious, you're more grounded, more balanced, more focused on like your spiritual practice, your spiritual values. And so that's no longer kind of in alignment with this other person. Since they're not in a healthy place making healthy choices, then they're not going to see, again, like what you offer or bring to the table, or the connection they have with you, to the same value or in the same light that you would think that they would, or that you would want them to, in order to come back into the family unit and reintegrate or like heal things. Yeah, there's definitely like a lot of children here. You could have a child, multiple children, um, something to where it's like to you is more than worth it to like focus on that. That's your priority, and you can't even understand how it could not be like this other person's. And so in your mind, you're like, obviously, inevitably, they're going to wake up and realize like that that's not worth it, and that their priority should be over here, because this is so much more worth it. There's so much more like love and connection over here. But again, they're not in that same space, that same healthy emotional space that you are. So they're not thinking is in the same clarity, or with the same clarity, or they're not thinking or seeing through the same lens that you are. So they're going to have a different emotional reaction than you could comprehend, because you're not in the same like toxic mental space that they're in. So you're no longer like in alignment in some way, like your spiritual values are no longer in alignment. um, the Three of Pentacles. So this could have started off through their work. Like this could have started off with them just being open to others' opinions, working with others, getting other people's viewpoint and opinions. They just started like bringing other people into things, or putting themselves in environments to where then they were working closely enough with others to like absorb their opinions and their perspective and their viewpoint enough to like let that influence them. And then it started influencing and affecting the way that they were working, to where then it like no longer was in alignment with you, or is somehow to where it like started off with just this innocent thing of them just like being open to hearing other people's perspective and viewpoint, and then it kind of like manifested into something else over time, while you were really busy like putting in the work to like create a foundation or build your home, or um, you were working really hard like on the relationship, or like in order to give back to everyone in this really fair way. And then they were kind of like open to be like influenced, or vulnerable to be influenced by some sort of outside opinion or something. And then with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like everything kind of shifted or changed after that. It's like it was no longer the same after that point. It like kind of started a catalyst to like set things in a totally different direction. um and we have the Strength as well. Let me get one clarifying card for the Strength. So right now you could feel as though you're missing out on some sort of, you're missing out on a really good opportunity. It's like you put a lot of work into this, or invested really diligently into this, just for it to turn around and like not work out, or for you to feel like it's like a missed opportunity, a lost opportunity, or It could be kind of hard not to blame yourself, like you didn't do something in time, you didn't get something together in time, you didn't work hard enough, you didn't show them the results or the progress they needed to see in time. But it's like, instead of having that mindset of seeing it as like a lost opportunity, it's like finding the strength to overcome the situation or kind of get on top of it and realize like all of this hard work or how much you've invested into this, you can invest back into yourself and kind of throw yourself out there and manifest a new opportunity for you. Like, you still have the potential to be really, really successful, to have like this new exciting opportunity, to have someone to like build and grow with you for the long term or the long run. But it's like, you just have to have the confidence to put yourself out there or to go for it and to let this other person like go, if that makes sense. Be willing to like fully release this other person and no longer be attached to them. And it's like all of the hard work and effort that you've put into it is not for nothing. You're still going to get that like long-term investment, long-term commitment. You'll get the rewards back still, like over time, in the long run, by having the strength to move forward towards someone who's more emotionally in alignment with you or spiritually in alignment with you at this time. So it's like this person's been very heavily influenced by the outside or some sort of third party, to where now that's like what they want to involve themselves in, or where their focus and their priorities are at this time. So with this falling apart, it's like you could feel as though you're falling apart, or like the relationship's falling apart. Um, you could be very torn up about this. This other person could be too, even though you're not seeing that. um but yeah, that's, I'm picking up, that's a lot of like your energies. Like, you feel as though like you've worked so hard or invested so much just for it all to fall apart all at once, and it just feels like this huge loss or this letdown or this huge missed opportunity. But if you have the strength and the confidence to put yourself back out there, go back out there again, then you can manifest something new, just as new and exciting. um So we have this expecting new beginnings and a movie date card. So yeah, like with this card here, I was kind of picking up, I didn't want to say that earlier too. It's like in the past you could have, like, say you guys just had a new baby, or you just, I don't know, yeah, if it's like someone that you have a deeper commitment with, there was something like new and exciting happening, and you thought that this would be something that they would be really excited about, or something that would like wake them up to realize like how special or meaningful your guys' connection is, or like value your family more, and it like didn't actually do that. It like almost made things worse. Um, so yeah, like you could have almost thought that like your kids would make it better, or like a baby would make it better, or make them like value the relationship more, or like kind of hold this in like a more special place in their life. But it's like it actually made it worse. So say you guys were already like stable and committed and connected and very spiritually in line with each other. You thought when you had a kid it would just take you to that next level and like make it better, make them love you more, make them value the relationship even more. But once you had that extra level of responsibility, it actually did the opposite. It like made things worse. It put more tension on things. They stopped paying as much attention to you. They stopped like really dating you in the same way, and they started like neglecting you and just like going out all the time. And so it's like the very thing that you thought would be so much better, make it so much better, not that it was bad before because you were already kind of spiritually in alignment with each other, but then it's like that you thought it would make it better, and then it actually ended up making it worse. Whereas like for you, it makes you like so much more connected to this person, you value them so much more, you feel so much more emotionally connected to them because of the family you have with them. Whereas for them, like that sort of responsibility like triggers them to then want to go out and involve themselves with other people for whatever reason and be like really, really hurtful. So it feels like you invested so much into this, or you put so much into this just for it to be like a missed opportunity, or to not work out or go the way that you thought. And so you feel like that's just like a huge loss or a huge letdown. But it's like all of the work that you put into yourself and your family, there's someone else out there that's really going to appreciate that or give back to you. So it's like, have the confidence to like rise above this, overcome this, put yourself back out there again, be vulnerable to someone new. So we have I'm ready. I feel like this is you. You're ready for a fresh start or to get back out there, put yourself back out there again in some way, to kind of like gather that sense of strength. I dream about you a lot, too much. So that makes sense with this here. It's like that may be kind of all they do. It's like they dream about it and they don't act on it a whole lot. I want to start a family with you. So they could have told you this, and then it's like once you got to that point, you thought it would make things better or be like the thing that connected you guys more than anything, and it actually like scared them, or like the sense of responsibility, then they like couldn't handle it. They kind of cracked under pressure. It caused them to then like fold and get into this type of energy. So it could be really confusing how it turned out like this, because they could have been the ones to like initiate this or to say that they wanted this or to think that they wanted this, but they didn't understand how much responsibility would come with it, or like how much then it would impact them and affect them. Because then we have I feel the same way and I think we should slow down, that came out together. So it's like it's they were the ones to initiate this, and then all of a sudden they started switching up and just like really going back and forth and being super super confusing, and it just kind of left you like, well shoot, like why did we do this then? Or yeah, you just feel like it was kind of like a waste of time or a lost opportunity to like um, do that part of your life with someone else or something. But it's like having the confidence to rise above this and put yourself back out there. It's like you can still have someone else in the same way to support you, or have someone who's like spiritually in alignment with you. The key elements, amplified. When you combine all the elements of nature into who you are, magic happens. Trust this lucky card to show you everything is in alignment to expand. Now is the time to embark on an incredible journey by merging your past, present, and future as a multi-dimensional person. Fork in the road, choices. You are in a situation that requires you to make an important decision to either go back to what is comfortable or what is new and challenging. Both have pros and cons, so it's a matter of what will help you grow. Protection needed. Shield. It's vital at this time to protect your energy field as others may be projecting negative energy onto you. You also may be in an environment for which you are absorbing negative vibes that are draining you. Call in Archangel Michael for protection to clear your energy field. Having a practice of grounding and putting a protected bubble around you every day will be helpful. Addictions, compassion. The situation is influenced by an addictive behavior that is influencing you or the person involved. Pain and trauma are being projected. Try to see the truth of the situation by stepping outside of the chaos to create an opening for forgiveness, patience, and compassion. So, definitely having compassion, but also seeing the truth of the situation can help you to make the right decision for you, the most healthy, well-informed choice that you can make for yourself and your family moving forward. In this card or in this pile, I'm really picking up on like you could like have a family or people that are that you're responsible for, or people that are responsible for you. You could be really connected to like older family, but if not, then like don't force it. That part doesn't have to resonate. It's a general reading. Take what does, leave what doesn't. So we have chaos, swamp, and fawn. So we have focus on the details, rest, and look for beauty. So it's the advice from Spirit. Focus on the details, rest, and look for beauty. We get one more oracle card to close out the reading. We have grounding, and honoring your energy. So I'm going to read both of those for you. As humans, our bodies are of the earth. It is a natural inclination when we experience uncomfortable emotions or energy to ground it out, much in a way a ground wire works with electrical current. However, with so much in our modern lives that causes us to be disconnected from Creator, we tend to gravitate towards false grounding. Overreacting, overeating, smoking, drinking, and recreational drugs are common ways to try to ground. These items are of the earth, but they are not the earth. This is not a true grounding. As such, it cannot sustain. It doesn't last. What ends up happening is that, as with most experiences that are false, we need more and more to achieve the same result. To truly ground and connect with the earth and Creator, practice consciously connecting your energy to the earth. You should not be getting your energy outside of yourself, but directly from the divine. This is achieved through meditation, energy work, and mindfulness. Find a way that works for you and practice it. By drawing this card, you're being asked to look at areas of your life where you may be employing false grounding as a coping mechanism. It's definitely like properly grounding yourself and getting that authentic connection to source and to spirit, to the earth, can help manifest a partner who vibrates on a more authentic connection to us, right? If you're false grounding and taking comfort from that, then you can get like false comforts from someone who's not truly showing up in an authentic way or in the way that you truly desire to have your partner show up for you, especially not on like a constant basis. We all have those days when we are disinclined to do anything. We try all sorts of mental tricks to talk ourselves into doing what we should be doing. Does this ever work? No. We end up feeling guilty, a very low vibration, for not getting anything done, which causes us to try twice as hard the next day which causes us to get overwhelmed and exhausted, which then leads to becoming caught up in a vicious cycle. Your body has rhythms just as everything else on this earth does: flowers, trees, plants, and the elements. The tides ebb and flow, and the sun and moon rise and set. Animals hibernate, and flowers grow, bloom, and go dormant. You need to listen to the inner cycles within you. Rest when you need to, work when you need to. Do not try to outthink the natural rhythms. Go easy on yourself and reserve judgment. You are your harshest critic. So yeah, that's all I have for pile 3. So if you're interested in the extended reading, that will be linked in the description box down below, as will the link if you would like a more personal reading from me. If you watch this far into the reading, I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, can't say thank you enough, and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you see this.